Right then, folks, it's Fish Show catch-up time, and for the 748th time on the run, he's only gone and done it again, folks. Come on, Jay, lad, he's qualified yet again, folks. Unbelievable record. What is it, 11 years on the bounce?
11 on the bounce, yeah. My 12th one, 11 years on the bounce.
Just make me sick, man. You're just unbelievable.
But it's not, right, we've had this, and it's not, it's just relentlessness in
It is.
going.
So, do you know what does, before you get going, I'm going to have a little bit of a rant.
Go
I
on,
like a bit of a rant.
I like you ranting.
Do you know what does my head in? Is when people say, oh, he's qualified again, he's drawn a fly, he's qualified again. What you don't see, folks, is this lad will go in pretty much every qualifier from when they start, like early March, all the way through.
Yeah.
So out of like 15 or 20 that he don't do any good in, you know, when he does get a chance, he don't mess it up. Yeah. Rant over. But it's right though, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon that
my head in.
Not just Fish Show, but that were probably 10th or 12th qualifier this year.
That's what I mean. It's everything. You're always in him. You always go for him. You've got to. Power's the same, isn't he? You know what I mean? He goes for every single one, relentless. I mean, Power's like 3 days travel away from most.
Yeah.
But it's what you've got to do. You're like 4 days travel from everywhere.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Got to do it.
And eventually, but the difference for you, as I say, I'm waffling. When you get your chance, don't mess it up, do you, lad?
No.
No, he's like literally. Like
I should have won it
behind him. I was 3. Yeah, well, it's what we've talked about, haven't we? I was 3 behind him in the queue, and like it's on his peg. Yes, I'm gonna win! And like you're so confident, weren't you? He went and showed. I think it was Matty and Christian on the other table. You're like, yes, I'm gonna win, and like you did. You were so buzzing and happy, weren't you?
It's just a chance.
Like, right, I've got to go to my peg. Then, like 10 minutes later, forgot his worms. Andy, I'm coming back for my worms. Got his worms. Right, see you later. I'm going to win. And then you were, mate. It was so good.
I'm not being cocky and arrogant. No, I'm going to win. It's just be happy, but that's jokey. I'm going to win.
That's how you've got to go. You've got to go into your match confident, haven't you?
Yeah.
And obviously, you know in the venue as well. Anyway, I'm waffling. Go ahead, Jay.
Anyway, what do we draw? I drew 12 on a pit.
Yeah.
Mega one.
I didn't even know it. So
it's on a point. I once did a deep water thing with Matrix on there.
Right.
Fishing for silvers and carp in the winter in like 15, 18 foot.
Oh, flipping.
But anyway, what it is, it's next to a point that, for those who haven't been clay pit, big deep old clay pit, funnily enough, which is stupidly deep. It's like 50 foot at one end. On the boards where you first come in, it's probably about 15 foot. But in the middle of it, there's this road that goes across, a bit of a bar. And
so obviously, you've got to know about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but everyone lets you know.
Right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? So, but you can't actually fish in anymore, this bar. Because there's no peg. There used to be a peg on the end of the point, and it used to take the mick.
Oh,
used
really?
to be so good. So now my peg's like on the side of the point, so I have to fish like sideways. I can't get onto the shallow water of the bar. I can get onto shallower water. It's the
where the boards are you round to the left then up there? Somewhere?
Yeah, where that point that sticks out.
Right, okay.
I'm like facing. It's a weird angle. You face like your peg faces that way.
Yeah,
I face that way.
Oh right, blooming heck.
You know what I mean?
Right, okay.
That's where I fish. My whole day's fishing's that way into the lake. Into the middle of the lake.
But have you got like a little nicky-nacky-noo like
nicky-nacky-noo corner here.
No fishing, no?
Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. Millions. There's a reed bed and then a peg.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, whoa. But I was dead happy because what I went to do, last year on my birthday, I won the match of 36.
I remember.
Which is the only other peg on the clay pit with the depth you can fish in, long on deck. That has, dead similar, you probably have 8 to 10 foot at 14 metres, depending on your angle.
Right.
And I caught doing that day. This day, exactly the same. We rocked up on it. It was minging.
Similar kind of weather, wasn't it?
Yeah, to start with. It was minging, wasn't it? Raining, horrible minging. So I thought my day's going to be catch short there, then catch on deck on the bar. Because the bar was just dead nice. I had it flat for, at least a metre was flat at about 9 foot.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it must have been 9 foot. So I thought, fish there, I'm going to win. Done. I mean, dead easy day.
What have you gone down? What bait? Pellets?
Pellets, nothing else on pit. I did have a load of maggots. My bait was literally a tub of 4s, handful of 6s, and a load of maggots. To turn that into maggots, my short line.
Like your short pole line?
Worst thing I ever did that, but we'll talk about that again in a minute. Okay. So, started short, mega. Like, drop me rigging short, first lowered, fed 10 pellets, lowered me rigging.
So are you literally on a top kit, Jay?
Top kit and 1.
So, and what depth have you got
At a bit of an angle. A full top kit, like 6.5. Oh no.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, probably a 6.5 foot.
Right.
So I've lowered me 6 mil in, and when my float was that far off the water, my lads have come up with a 10-pounder. First chuck, like, all right.
Oh, mate.
Okay, one of them days, is it? Just caught that one, went in again, caught his mate. Another one, big, massive one, and then I just caught dead well first hour. I've had £50 first hour, which...
That is amazing.
We all thought, didn't we, that to win, a little 100.
Yeah.
120?
£80 to £200, didn't we? Something like that.
I feel like 110-ish around that one, I thought. So £50 first hour, I'm like, what is going on here? And I haven't even gone long yet. So I've gone long once that fizzled out a little bit.
And what were you doing? Just like throwing it, or you like
Short, just cupped them.
baiting?
Just
Right,
cupped
okay.
them. Long, I was rafting it.
Yeah,
I was
4
doing like
mils.
34 mils every
Yeah,
now
yeah.
and again. And I could see some F1s in my feed.
Right, okay.
But they're a nightmare to catch, so I didn't want to catch them shallow. I wanted to catch them on the bottom so I could catch a carpies.
Right. The
So-
carp not come shallow.
They don't feed shallow really, or they're not now. So because I had 8 foot, I thought I'd catch them bottom. So I've gone in on it, gone in on deck, and I've caught. It was mad. It was full of F1s to start with on the bottom now. I've caught these little £1.5 F1s. I probably had 10 of them dead quick, and then I had 3 carp on a bounce. I was like, all right, here we go.
And what's up with the carp, like 3-4 pounders?
Yeah,
or
4 to
angry?
5 pound.
Proper angry, are they?
Oh,
In
my.
that depth, I can't imagine how angry they are.
Horrible. Well, you just,
Horrible.
it was just shallow enough because my top kit's like mine are a bit longer than yours, quite
Yeah.
long top kits. So I can bottom me lassie out.
So you're like, you're breaking off on your number 3 and then you reach up for your puller and all that, are you? Or you just
No,
like playing off
I
that?
go on my top kit,
Oh, right, okay.
but I stand up
Right,
and I've got that much of lassie and I can stand up and I can control them then. Because I've got a big oak tree above me as well, so I can't even top 5 it and pull.
So if you ping out on one of them, it's
your
game
rig's
over.
gone. Your rig's
Bye-bye.
like, gog. Yeah, like that. But no, that never happened. So yeah, caught really well, but then they popped up. It did this, didn't it?
Yeah, it went really hot.
2 hours in, it went
Yeah.
boing like this. I probably had 65 pound at that point. 70 pound.
I mean, word was coming back to us that you'd had like caught a few in the first hour, but then you weren't catching anything. You know what I mean?
you
Word,
don't need to on a pit, do you?
No, that's
But
it.
yeah, I threw a waggler at that point because they all popped up.
Yeah.
First chuck I had one £10.
Oh.
Next chuck I had one £6. Then I didn't catch one for a bit, and then they came into pole range then. And that was my day. It just went
So you just
boring
sort of
after
like
that.
picking them out, mugging them, and that
Yeah,
kind of
just
thing.
flicking. I've swung it at loads. Them glasses are a bugger though on the clay pit. So we've got posh glasses, haven't we? And we're trying to see these fish. The clay pit is very, very clear
You can
as
see
it
like
is.
the bottom and 9 foot of
You
it,
can
couldn't
see
you?
too many. And what they were doing later on, I swapped to maggots later on. Pellets were good to start with, but I only caught carp on pellets.
Right.
And not a lot, like 2 or 3 an hour, but
Yeah,
the
yeah,
5 to 10 pound. And then I swapped to maggots because there were balls of F1s everywhere and I couldn't catch one. It was doing me head in. And yeah, before I talk about that, my edge as well. I've got this weed bed to my edge with a pallet. There were thousands of these big, massive F1s just sat there all looking at me.
What, just like basking, it all
Just
popped
sat
up
there.
in the sun?
Not moving, just sat there. Physically couldn't catch one.
But you could reach them with a pole to mug.
Oh, mate, I could hit them on the head with my pole.
Oh, they're just not interested at all.
I caught one that breathed it in. I like dangled it in
Yes.
front of it and I had him. And after that, they wouldn't even do that. I couldn't physically catch one.
But they'd come and have a look at it? Or
No, they wouldn't even
just
look
sit
at it. I'd flip me rig in and they'd literally separate and it'd just fall through. The other one would look at it and turn away. But further out where they were moving, because they were dormant, they were just
there?
sat.
Yeah.
Where they were swimming further out, I'd flick me maggots last hour. Maggots about that deep. These F1s would whiz to it, have it in the mouth, spit it out, nothing had happened, wouldn't see a bite, and I couldn't be fast enough to strike as well. You horrible, horrible little
So
fish.
obviously that mugging, you weren't like feeding to attract them in there or anything like that. You just
I fed and I felt like that was keeping some fish in the area, but that was in
weren't
case
really
I
coming
wanted
into
to
the
go on the
bait.
bottom again.
Right, yeah.
I think I did go on the bottom 2 or 3 times and caught like 1 or 2. But they all come up and it was just a mugging match. But very nice.
Oh mate, amazing.
Basically, yeah.
No, fair play, Jay. It's just unbelievable record. It's phenomenal. You know what I mean?
Very, very nice. I needed it because we were at the wall, weren't we, Rich? All of us are at the wall.
I'm there now. Me
You're-
and Richard are
you
officially
just-
there now. Like, I don't want to fish this weekend. It's just like, oh, bag of dreams. Oh, it's what one again. But you just got to keep going as this lad does. That's proof is there in the pudding. You know what I
It
mean?
is
You've gotta keep
relentless,
going.
isn't it? It's
You've got to.
horrible. You just got to go right next, and not feel you due something.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that knocks you down even
Oh,
more.
yeah, definitely. It's when you're least expecting it kind of thing, isn't it? And
Yeah,
then
man.
you're like, oh, yeah, here we go.
But
Get ready
talking
to
of
go.
expecting it and fate happening and all that, we've got to mention it in this. Are we going to talk about now or in podcast? Do it podcast. I'll tell you in podcast then. You'll have to watch a podcast for the was meant to be moment.
You've not told me. You've not told me
You-
this yet. Oh, they might have
I'll
told
tell you in a minute.
Go ahead.
So yeah, that was my catch up for Western. Now I've got to go Westwood. Never seen that place.
I mean, obviously, from all accounts, it's probably going to suit you. Well, any style of fishing is going to suit you. I mean, folks, come on, let's be honest. But I don't know. No one knows what it's going to be like. That's the beauty of it, isn't it? You know
Going to be
what I mean?
lots more
F1s,
bites
carp,
than we've ever had.
Barbel. You know what it's like on a barbel, folks, especially with them bad boys on. Go on the white Chinese. You know what I mean? If you get on them shoal,
Yeah,
been lucky with barbels, haven't you?
yeah, we'll see. So I need some practice and we'll see what happens.
Well done, Jay lad.